Brock Bowers is one of the most talented players in the entire country.
And it's Bowers, just like Stitch talked about in the open. Just get him the football. There he goes. 75 yards.
Before Bowers, tight ends were often seen as blockers first and receivers second. And I mean, sure, there are a few exceptions, legends like Tony Gonzalez and Rob Gronkowski, but generally, tight ends have never been the focal point of an offense. And then came Brock Bowers, a 6'4", 240-pound wrecking ball with the speed of a wide receiver and the hands of a surgeon. Ever since he arrived at the University of Georgia, college football just hasn't been the same since. Coming out of Napa, California, Brock wasn't just a football prodigy. He was a complete athlete, playing in all sorts of sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and soccer. And I mean, it probably comes as no surprise, but his parents, Warren and Deanna Bowers, were also student athletes at Utah State. His mom would go on to be an All-American softball player who got submitted into the Aggies Hall of Fame, while his father was a two-time All-Big West center for the Utah State football program. And if that's not enough, his sister also played softball for Sacramento State. And I think it's safe to say that the Bowers clan might have been constructed in a lab.
His father, Warren, played center at Utah State, and his mom, Deanna, is in the Aggies Hall of Fame for her achievements in softball.
Everyone in my family is super competitive. Me and my sister are always competing, and between my mom and my dad too, like they're always arguing who was like the better athlete.
By the time Brock entered high school, his talent was undeniable. He quickly became a 4-star recruit, ranked the second best tight end in the country by his senior year, behind Thomas Fedoni. Brock was something else on the football field. For Napa High School, he didn't just stick to one position. Instead, he would be a Swiss Army knife for the Grizzlies, playing tight end, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, and even returning kicks.
At Napa High School, Brock played offense, defense. He even returned kicks and helped re-energize a team that had endured a hazing scandal years earlier.
A guy like that, 6'3", 230, and fast. He just looked different than anyone out there in the field.
By 2021, Brock's arrival at the University of Georgia was met with much anticipation. But even the most optimistic fans couldn't have predicted the impact he would have on the program. As a freshman, he would finish the season as Georgia's leading receiver, with 56 catches for 882 yards and 13 total touchdowns. I mean, come on, if this wasn't enough as a freshman, Bowers established UGA tight end records for single-season receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, all in his first college season.
I think this guy is one of the premier players in college football. I know he's just a freshman, but this guy's got great size. He's a good blocker. He's physical. He's tough. And he's got wide receiver skills in every way, shape, or form, which makes it difficult being a bigger guy for bigger guys to cover him. And it makes it also difficult for smaller guys to cover him.
Now, part of this performance could be attributed to the fact that Bowers had no college film for opposing teams to analyze. But the truth is, the kid was just getting started. When freshman year was all said and done, Bowers finished with a list of accolades including the 2021 Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year Award and First Team All-American.
But Brock is unique. He's easily the quietest, hardest worker I've ever been around.
Even though it may be hard to believe, by his sophomore season, Brock's game had taken a quantum leap. Bowers would rack up over 63 catches for 942 yards and 7 touchdowns, which were all team highs. It wouldn't just be through receiving that Brock would cement his impact. In just his second college season, Bowers ran for 109 rushing yards on just 9 total carries. Let's be serious. This is a complete cheat code. You mean to tell me a 6'4", 240-pound tight end who runs a 4.5 40 can take handoffs? Yeah, I mean, as a defender, good luck on that. And this is where Brock first started to change the game of college football. We have seen many great tight ends come through college, such as Kyle Pitts and Aaron Hernandez. Though they were both as athletic and explosive as Bowers when it comes to receiving, there are not many tight ends that can make a dent on the run game. Let's be real.
What makes you, everybody has a passion, and I know I've sat in those meetings and interviewed guys, and they say, why do you play the game? And then they say, we love the game, and all the other BS that you probably say to these teams. But is there something that is personal that drives you to do what you do on the field, that you want to be as successful as you are?
Yeah, I think I'm just a competitor. I love to compete, and I think that's the main thing that drives me and makes me want to be better than the guy across from me.
In just his sophomore year, Bowers would top off his prior season being named Georgia's first John Mackey Award winner for the nation's top tight end. I mean, this should not have come as a surprise, given that Brock showed how much of a playmaker he was with the ball in his hands. However, he also managed to land as a finalist for the Rotary Lombardi Award as the nation's top lineman. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I read that right. The nation's top lineman? Well, obviously the tight end position plays on the line, but this is the first time Brock was acknowledged for his blocking efforts also.
I talked about it over the fall. We thought you improved immensely as a blocker from the 2021 to 2022 to 2023 season. Is that how you felt about it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I did a pretty good job throughout the years improving, especially for my freshman year. There's a lot of improvement there.
See, traditionally, tight ends are linemen first, receiver second. But Brock has changed this concept by being a playmaker first, blocker second type of tight end.
All right, here, I'm going to have you build the ultimate tight end. So I'm going to give you a category, and you tell me which player, past or present, fits this category. This is easy. Are you ready? Size.
Gronk.
Speed.
Vernon Davis.
Oh, that's a great one. Hands.
Oh, man. I can't even I don't know. We'll just go with Kelsey.
That's a good one to go with if you don't know.
Yeah.
Route running.
TJ Hawks.
That's a great one, too. Blocking.
Gotta go with Darnell Washington.
There we go.
Big fella.
Yep. Super. Yeah. Great call. Last one, toughness.
Toughest? Gotta throw George Kittle in there.
Fantastic. See, that wasn't too bad, right?
Yeah.
By junior year, Bowers knew it would be time to submit his greatness and leave no more room for questions or doubts. By the end of the season, Brock became the only third player in program history to earn 3 first-time All-American honors, joining Herschel Walker and David Pollack. In the beginning of the season, Bowers would get off to a great start, dissecting opposing defenses in the air and on the ground. In the 5th game of the season against Auburn, Bowers would record a season-high 157 yards over just 8 receptions. 2 games later, the Bulldogs would play Vanderbilt, where Bowers would unfortunately injure his left ankle. The injury would only cause Bowers to miss 2 games, and he would eventually come back, finishing the season pretty strong.
You getting injured this year but came back to play. Why was that important for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was
because a lot of guys at your level would say, hey, I'll just shut it down, get ready for the draft and what's in my future. But you decided to come back and try to play.
Yeah, I think that's just how I was. I mean, it was football season. We were playing football, and I wanted to play. And I was watching all my teammates playing, and I was just sitting on the bench. I mean, I was like, this kind of sucks. So I wanted to be back out there and playing with the guys.
We can't just act like as if there wasn't talk and buzz about Bowers being a potential Heisman candidate at the height of the season. Regardless of this small mishap, Brock's achievements not only redefine the standards for tight ends, but also has inspired future generations with his exceptional talent and dedication to the game. So, how exactly is Brock Bowers changing the game? It's simple. He's blurring the lines between positions. He has the size and strength of a traditional tight end, but with the speed and agility of a traditional wide receiver. This versatility makes him a nightmare for opposing defenses. Linebackers struggle to cover him in the slot, while safeties are too small to match him deep. He can overpower defensive backs in the red zone, and his route running is so crisp that he can find openings against even the most disciplined secondaries. Kids who once only dreamed of being the next Tony Gonzalez now see the possibilities of being a dominant hybrid receiving tight end. Brock's success has opened doors for tight ends at all levels, proving that they can be the focal point of the offense, not just an afterthought. So, what's next for Brock Bowers? He's projected to be a top 5 pick in the upcoming NFL draft, and rightfully so. His talent is undeniable, and his impact on the game has also been undeniable. It's safe to say that Brock Bowers is a generational talent who has redefined the tight end position. Whether he's terrorizing defenses in the SEC or lighting up the NFL in the years to come, one thing is for sure. Brock Bowers is a name you won't forget. If you want to see how good Drake May actually is, or the effect Xavier Worthy has had on the game, then click one of these videos.